Okay, buying a house and then you're gonna move before your mortgage is done. Okay, that's probably the case with most, right? Like when you buy a house in your 20s, you're not gonna live there forever, right? Okay, so we bought a house and we negotiated a mortgage for 95%. So we're gonna need a 5% down payment. Okay, so let's do that right away. So how much money are we gonna put on this thing on day one? Okay, so here's what I got as my down payment. So now I'm gonna finance this much. Does that make sense? Because I put that on the house, so I'm gonna finance that much. Okay, so let's write our app stuff, NI, PV, PMT, future, payments, compounds.
Figure out that down payment?
I did this times 0.05.
Okay.
I needed to put 5% so that you know what I mean as a decimal. Okay, so previous, let's do 237,405 in the previous. That's our loan. And then here we go. Compounded semi-annually. Compounded 2. Got that? Compounded at semi, 5.5. There's a 20-year term, so 20 times, 20 years times whatever, how many a year, we'll have to figure that out. Monthly payments. Monthly payments, so that means monthly for 20 years. Okay. Future, 0. Okay, give me the payment. How much money do you have to pay every month to live here? Okay, we're gonna live in this house for 3 years and then we're gonna sell it and then we're gonna move. Okay? You ready? How much money has come out of my pocket in those 3 years? Okay, so on day 1, that much came out of my pocket. Plus, I made this payment 12 times a year for 3 years, right? You paid that every month for 3 years. And you're going to do a copy paste on that though, right? Okay, so get out of your app, go to your home screen. Give me an apps finance VARS payment. If you like, you can times it by -1 and it's on your screen. So that times every month for 3 years. Plus your down payment. Okay, now let's sell our house. Okay, let's sell our house. So when we bought it, it was worth that much. And then here's what it says. The house depreciated. Okay, that doesn't happen very often, but in this case it did. Actually, if you buy a house, let's say you had an oil boom in your town and you buy a house, you buy it high. If the oil boom is over and then you try to sell it, it would be worth less. That often happens, like those kind of cases. So depreciated 10% over the 3 years. So just a straight 90, okay? Sometimes if it says it depreciated 10% each year, what would you change? You would do a exponent 3, because it's doing that and then that each year. But this just said 10% over the 3 years. Okay, so now how much do you sell your house for? Bless you, bless you, bless you. So when you sell your house, you get that much money. Okay, that'd be nice if you get to keep it all, but you're not going to just profit that. That seems ridiculous. What's the one thing I'm missing now?
Your mortgage.
My mortgage. I still owe money on the bank, right? Because I financed that over 20 years, but I left after 3. So my mortgage isn't paid off. Okay, so give me your app stuff. Okay, so remember we started at this, we were making those payments. All that's the same except for the end and the future. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, if I made monthly payments for 3 years now, if I'm going to do this a month for 3 years, what do I have left on my loan? Does that make sense? What we're changing in the question now? Okay, so can you figure out for 3 years if you were doing those payments? Okay, so I still had that. I still had to pay the bank that. Okay, so in the end, can you take these 3 values and figure out what the total was it to live here? Okay, so those numbers need to go together because that's a total cost. And then you get this back. So put these together, subtract with that one, so see what, okay? All the income, or all the costs, Everybody matching? That's how much it cost me to live there for 3 years. Good? Match? Anybody match?